Well, thank you. And we've got Chief Ebere Ubani, who is a petroleum marketer. He joins us as well today. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Chamberlain.
Well, let's get the scenario in terms of what's playing out there, because there were this report that depot owners seem to be frustrated with what's going on. They're not selling at the approved government price of between 123 naira 28 kobo to 133 naira 38 kobo per litre. That's the ex-depot price, and they're now selling some of them at 142 naira. What's happening?
Yeah. Before now, government was giving the marketers money for importation. They were giving them Forex allocation through central bank. But as I speak with you, that has been cut off for the past 3 months or thereabout, making things difficult for the importers.
What reason did they give?
Well, because of Forex scarcity, and that was done by the CBN. So they've resorted going by the parallel market. You and I know that it's on the high side. So by the time they bring in product here at that 142 you are looking at, you ask yourself a lot of pertinent questions. There are other miscellaneous fees to be paid at the depot. One, you are going to pay for the union. Two, you are going to pay for the transport to the service station where the product will be dispensed. All these things are built in the money they've spent. Banks are not helping. Banks are not giving them loan, those major marketers. It's a big-time business. If you don't have that kind, no matter how rich you are, banks must come in. But banks are not ready to play their own part in this instance, and they have their reasons.
Okay, let me jump in for a bit. When you say you pay for transports from the depot, is it that the marketers don't ferry the products to their destination with their own equipment?
No, all is built, because the trucks that will carry this product to the final destination, which is the service stations, people, some companies are transporters. They engage their services. You have to pay them depending on the distance they are going. If you load, because over 70% of products we use internally here in this country is being sourced from Lagos end here. Over 70%. So you see, like the last one who spoke from Abuja end, he talked about equalization fund, which the PPRA has sat on for the past months now. I don't know why.
The fund don't get to you?
It doesn't get to the people. For instance, somebody loads his product here to Sokoto or Kano or Kaduna, as the case may be. You don't expect that the truck, what somebody who loads from here and to Lagos here, the charge will be the same thing. It's not.
Why does the product, how does PPPRA come here? Because what the PA have said is that the funds go directly as soon as you're able to substantiate that, yes, you've been able to ferry your products from one end to the other, they pay you that fund directly.
The PPRA is the government watchdog here in this aspect. It's their duty to find out these trucks that are going to bring out their name. Did they actually ferry the products to the destinations? You have filed their papers for the claims you are going to make. So that's exactly their job. And it's an intervention. It's an intervention by the government to help equalize the prices all over. But you still see that it's only in Lagos, Abuja, and maybe a few other states that have this product, even at 145 at their depots.
You know, the amazing thing here is that we have so many organizations that are part of this whole thing. We know we have the PTDA, that's the Petroleum Tanker Drivers. We have MOMAN, we have IPMAN, we have all of those big names in this whole sector. You started off by saying that the banks have their reasons for not helping out in this. I was waiting for you to tell us what reasons the banks have given to marketers like yourself for not helping with funding.
Well, I'm not a banker.
But you said they had their reasons.
They may have their reasons. I said they may have their reasons. amongst them is that there is no funds. Even you, an individual, go to your bankers now, ask for 1 million naira. A lot of reasons will come up. They don't have money. So
it goes back to Forex.
That's it. That's it.
Because you've raised two issues here now. One is that of Forex. Two is that of the Petroleum Equalization Fund, which you say has been stopped for quite some time now. For how long? Can you give us a rough estimate of time? Is it up to a year or two?
No, less than 2 years. It's less than 2 years. In fact, it's since this new administration. Yeah.
And there hasn't been any reason why that has?
They are trying to be more careful, going by what has happened in the industry in the past. Like this issue of people coming to, say that they brought, you know about it. So the present government
You're talking about the subsidy fraud?
Yes, the subsidy fraud.
You know why the PEF is important here is that people, especially in other parts, you said something about Lagos. In other parts of the country, some are still complaining that they don't get it for 145 naira. For instance, those in the southeast of the country, if you take your product from Lagos down to that part, there must be some differentials incurred for in transportation, and that's why the PEF is there. If these monies are not being paid for almost 2 years now, is any organization or association working with the Petroleum Equalization Fund to see that these monies are paid?
Well, I was happy when I heard from the other guy, from the secretary to Ipman, when he said they've called for a meeting of stakeholders to dwell into this. I think that's one of the things they should be looking at. I thank God for that timely intervention, because ordinarily I would have even called for a meeting of the stakeholders where they would discuss this issue. There's no need pretending. If you want to know whether there is scarcity now or not, go to Apapa Express Road. You see trucks lined up. The product is being far reduced. Like some tank farms that has up to maybe 10 loading gantries. They've reduced it in loading maybe 2 or 3 gantries. Yes, because there's no product. So it is a gradual. It's just like in the filling stations. Maybe you have 6 pumps. Some product has finished in some time. So you see that you will not be dispensing from the pumps where you don't have a product. So that is exactly what is happening there.
But sometimes they say they don't dispense because they just want to make sure they keep some of those products and not dispense everything almost immediately.
Yes, I agree with you. Even at the service station level, some people now have refused to sell now. They are anticipating, scarcity.
Is that why we have a lot of queues on the roads?
It's part of it. Some naturally. So Nigerians are not helping issues, including we who has these service stations. Some of us, once you hear that there will be any problem of any sort, you see them, they lock up their stations. Some have even started panic buying. Inclusive of these independent marketers, they are stocking their pumps. Some have over 10 trucks stocked, getting ready for the unknown. Because all these stories, at the end of the day, you will hear government come up with another story now.